This deck makes Aggron VMAX more than just a meme. Roll the intro. What is going on, everybody? Hitmonchanting here, back again with another Pokemon trading card game online deck tech, and today I wanted to cover Aggron VMAX. I've been wanting to cover this card for a while, and I don't know if you all remember, a while back at Worlds, Aggron VMAX actually placed like top 16. I think it placed like 12th or 13th place or something like that, and people were kind of shocked. Everybody thought this card would be so bad when it came out in Brilliant Stars a while ago, and it actually placed super well at Worlds, which just goes to show, you know, creativity can go a long way in the current format that we are in. Now, I really wanted to cover this deck, so I'm just going to jump straight into it. Aggron VMAX got some pretty cool attacks, but the energy cost is what is holding it back. You know, 330 HP, very tanky card. Cracking Stomp, 150 for a metal and 2 colorless. You can discard the top card of your opponent's deck. And Max Takedown for 270 for a whopping 5 energy, 2 metal, 3 colorless, and you do 30 damage to yourself. However, it's really interesting because this deck doesn't play Aggron VMAX for the VMAX, it actually plays it for Aggron V. The reason being, Aggron V has the Merciless Strike attack. If your opponent's active Pokemon already has any damage counters on it, this attack does 150 more damage. Now, 300 damage, let's say you power Aggron up thanks to Arceus V or Arceus VSTAR's Trinity Nova, you get 3 energy on Aggron V, put a double turbo on that, you're going to be hitting 280, because if they have any damage counters on it, and you're doing 300 damage minus 20, you're doing 280, which is the magic number right now to knock out V-Star Pokemon. So it's actually really strong. We are playing, obviously, with Arceus V-Star. I haven't done a lot of Arceus decks, so I'm very happy to actually start playing this card and start using it. I got a couple that are in the works right now. And we're using Arceus V-Star. That Starbirth ability is just so powerful, right? And we're going to be playing it with the Bibarel engine for Industrious Incisors to fill our hand to 5 once during our turn. Now, the other cards in here are pretty straightforward. We do have Galarian Zigzagoon to help put damage counters on our opponent's Pokemon, as well as Pumpkaboo to get rid of some disruptive stadiums when we don't need them, such as Path to the Peak. Some Pokemon Search, you know, Evolution Incense, 4 Quick Ball, 4 Ultra Ball. We've got some Switch and a Scoop Up for our Zigzagoon. 3 Path to the Peak because we want to be disrupting our opponent as much as we can after we've used our Starbirth. You can combine that with 4 Marnie. We've got 2 Research in here, 2 Raihan as well, so we can find cards such as Choice Belt or Big Charm when we need them, when we need to be more tanky or more aggressive, so we can find those cards. We also have 3 Boss's Orders in here, so we can just target some cards down and target down some Pokemon and just take huge knockouts when our opponent least expects it. And then, you know, 4 double turbo, 1 capture, 8 metal energy. This deck is super solid, and I really have been loving it. I've started to attend more in-person tournaments, just local and not too far from where I am, and this is a serious contender of what I would like to play when I go there. I'm currently playing Turbo Dialga V-Star, which I'm actually going to be making a video about very soon as well. And yeah, you know, we're just not gonna spend too much time dwelling on the deck. It's very simple, very strong. We're just gonna hop into some games and see if we can use Aggron to get some wins. We get to call the coin flip. Tails never fails, as I always say. And we won. Absolutely, we're going to go first. And we're going to see what we are working with here. Crobat to start. Oh, man. Not a good starting hand at all. But if we can find a switch option, we can actually do a lot here. My opponent, Metal Energy, Silene, Avery, Scoop Up. I'm a little curious to see what this is. Maybe it could be some form of Dialga here. And it looks like it's going to be, so Mew coming out. I think we're going to have to Quick Ball away a Path to the Peak. We're going to play one down, though, just to be safe. We'll get ourselves an Arceus. Play that onto the bench and attach an energy. And we can Quick Ball away this Raihan as well. And grab Aggron. Actually, we're going to keep that Path in the hand, because we want to get our Starbirth down the next turn. And my opponent's probably going to take a super long turn or a super short turn here. They have the Trekking Shoes to start it off, so they're going to be able to draw some cards. We're going to see what they do. There's their Dialga coming out to play. Now, the version with the Mew is interesting because I think the Lost Zone version is just straight up better. because you have so many more options to get energy onto your Dialga. This Quick Ball coming down, they're probably going to find a Crobat or a Radiant Greninja. Those would be my guesses. There's the Radiant Greninja getting energy into the discard pile. Now, thankfully for us, it's very possible in 2 turns this Dialga just gets knocked out. And they're looking for that Crobat V, so they're going to be able to draw a bunch of cards here. That's why I really would have liked to put that Path to the Peak down, but it could have put us in a very difficult spot because we need that Path to the Peak not in play in order to use Arceus VSTAR's ability. Thankfully for us, when we put that Path to the Peak down, they're not going to be able to use Intrepid Sword or use Radiant Greninja's Concealed Cards attack, so that is good with us. Avery's not going to do much in this matchup as well, which is also good. There's the Concealed Cards coming out. Doesn't look like they've had any Metal Saucers yet. Also a very good sign. There's that Mysterious Tail coming out, which means that a Metal Saucer might be in our future, and it is. So they're probably going to be able to use that, and they're actually going to play Training Court as well and get an energy back to attach for turn. Now maybe they're going to switch into Dialga and use Metal Coating to get more energy, but they don't have any more in the discard. So Intrepid Sword, here we come. Getting 3 more cards in the hand and ending my opponent's turn. Now, we are in business. Arceus VSTAR. Energy. Starbirth. And now this is my dilemma. What do we grab? Do we grab like Boss and a Switch? Or do we grab like a Research? Or what do we grab here? Boss and Switch could be better because I think it could just disrupt my opponent to the point of no return. I think that's what I want to do here. Yeah. I want to grab a Boss and a Switch. Switch into Arceus. Play down Path. And we could Boss and KO Crobat, but I want to Boss and smack the Dialga. Because Trinity Nova, we're going to do 180. And we can power up our Aggron V to actually use Rock Slide. So we might be able to KO this Dialga here with just the first attack while also damaging the bench, which would be pretty good to set up like Zacian and Crobat to get knocked out or to set up 2 Mews or whatever. So my opponent had the Air Balloon in hand, which is okay, but Aggron can use Rock Slide and get this Dialga ever so closer to being KO'd. And here is the V-Star. Now, it's good that we got the damage on it because now Aggron V can actually just take the KO while they aren't able to take a full KO with Dialga V-Star on our Arceus. Even on Aggron, unless they were able to put a Choice Belt on it, they could not do that. Now, it's still possible they can put a Choice Belt. They're going to boss our Aggron actually, and maybe just try and leave that trapped in the active. They're going to scoop up their Mew, bring up that Mew, and get another one down. Now, my opponent has kind of put themselves into a trap, it seems, because their Dialga has to use Metal Blast if they want to knock out our Aggron. If they do, we come up with Arceus and we just KO it. So it's not like we're going to be in the worst spot in the world if that happens. My opponent scooping up again, bringing up that Mew. They're really trying to get this Dialga powered up to use Star Chronos here. However, if we just knock out that Dialga, there's not much they can do after the fact. So I'm not super worried here. We're just going to have to see what they get. Getting an Energy Search, they don't even have energy in the discard. So they're going to need to discard it somehow with a Quick Ball and then a Metal Saucer, or I don't know what their plan is. Maybe just to trap this Aggron up here, and we can actually just Rock Slide KO Mew if we wish. Another Arceus down is good. We'll play that down. And we can just Rock Slide here, take out the Mew, and set up some other Pokemon to get KO'd. We can hit the Dialga, but I don't think we need to. So I think I'd rather just hit the Zacian and the Crobat for 30 each, so we can just take a knockout with Aggron down the line. Let's take our single prize. It's going to be our boss's orders, which is really good, because we can boss something up and then KO it. I didn't want to hit Greninja because they could just scoop it up. However, I think they played 3 scoop ups already, so the chances of that happening are not very likely. And another Mew coming down. We can boss up that Mew and take a KO again with Rock Slide if we want. However, we're going to get Marnied, which sucks, but we can get Marnied into another boss. We do have one more in the deck, so we'll see. Maybe that Marnie will be futile. It was not, but that's okay. That's going to be their turn here. And we have a Marnie of our own. So, unfortunately, for my opponent, that's the Path to the Peak in play. I think we're going to get rid of a Bibarel. We'll just grab... We can grab the VMAX and just Cracking Stomp and take out the Radiant Greninja. We can absolutely do that. Or we can even power up Max Takedown. It's another option. I think that's what we'll do. We'll grab the VMAX. Put this over here. And then we're just going to Marnie my opponent into some other less cards. And, okay, we're in a pretty decent spot, I will say. This energy not super needed, so we will actually get rid of it. And we'll grab another Bidoof. So we have a out to Bibarel. A definitive out, I will say. And now we can just Cracking Stomp will do 130 damage, taking out Greninja. And we can discard the top card of my opponent's deck, which could be huge for us. Getting rid of a Training Core is absolutely huge, I will say, because now they can't bump that path using Intrepid Sword or anything of the like. They're going to be able to Star Chronos here, but I mean, they can be my guest too. If they have that energy, be my guest. Star Chronos being take and knock out our V-Star, or our VMAX, because we can just KO you with Arceus V-Star the very next turn. And then we can power up another Arceus V. We have Raihan. We have a bunch of options. They're actually going to power up the Zacian here. Very interesting. So no Star Chronos looking like it's going to come from my opponent. Oh, they're going to go into the Mew. Very interesting play. Okay, so they're banking on hitting another switch. Unless they had one in hand. If they had the Metal Saucer. And if they have the Scoop Up Net or switching card. Maybe that's what they're trying to find with Mysterious Tail. Let's see if they get it. That could be very interesting. They get another Metal Saucer here, but do they have the switching option? They're going to Quick Ball away that Metal Energy, and hopefully, they're going to find another Mew. Man, I'm so intrigued to see this play. That could be it. There's another Metal Saucer onto the Dialga. Wow, I'm a little bit... Oh, and that's the game. I think they should have kept the Dialga in the active and gone for the Chrono Star play. It would have given them a better chance. However, Arceus Aggron comes out on top. We get to call the coin flip here. Tails never fails, except this one time. Yeah, this one time Tails has failed us, but that's okay. My opponent can go first, but I think Aggron is strong enough to overcome. Now, we need to make the choice if we want to put Aggron in the active or Zigzagoon. I think we're going to play Aggron down to help us maybe get some damage, because at the very least we can attack with Aggron. Versing another Eternatus deck. Interesting. Eternatus seeing a lot of play on the ladder. I think after LDF made his new Eternatus build video. I actually really like this deck. I played it in one of the Limitless events a while back when Brilliant Stars came out. Like, I played it with the wide part that has trade, and I did pretty well. I think I went 7-2 or 6-3 or something. I think I went 6-3. In that event, and it was pretty good. I really do like Eternatus. My opponent getting rid of their Galarian Weezing, which is good. We don't want that turning off our Starbirth, but it looks like actually here we can get a Arceus V down, and maybe we can find a switch and get a Trinity Nova happening. So this could just be it for my opponent. They're gonna just switch, playing down their hand and dropping a Crobat for sure. There's no reason for them to switch otherwise. And just maybe trying to get more setup here, but it doesn't look like they have much going on. So it's going to be our turn. We're going to see what we get off the draw. Scoop Up Net. Now, Zigzagoon would have been great to have in that case, but that's okay. We are going to Quick Ball away this energy. Just take a peek in our deck. I know we have our Arceus. We have Bat, which is good. We have Aggron. We have a single V-Star, so that's important to note. And then we got 6 energy, so we're okay to power up Aggron here. We will play this double turbo, and I want to Ultra Ball away these 2 cards and grab ourselves Crobat. We're really going to want to find the switch option here, and let's see if we can do it. I probably could have played Zig, but that's okay. Do not find a switch, but we do get Ultra Ball. So now the dilemma is, do we hold it or do we put down a Bidoof? It's very possible my opponent gets a good... like a big attack off, but that would be on Aggron and they would be required to boss the Arceus. I think we're going to keep it, we're going to hold that in the hand for now, and we're just going to pass it on over to my opponent. At the very least, if they knock out our Aggron V, which has 230 HP, very important distinction as opposed to 220. If they knock it out, we can Raihan to Arceus and get another attachment. They're going to get their VMAX down, but they need to draw through some cards here. If they have a pretty dead hand, there's not too much they can do. And next turn, we're actually going to be flying and swinging for quite a bit of damage. My opponent going to Ultra Ball, probably trying to find another Crobat here, but what are they going to get rid of? My guess is going to be a Dark Energy and some something else, maybe like a Quick Ball or something. Lost Vacuum and Samurott, not what I thought, but very, very cool. I like Eternatus decks because they're playing the Samurott to just get 4 damage counters wherever, and it's a nice backup attacker as well to put your opponent into the 3-2-3 prize trade. Now another Crobat coming down. They're going to be looking for that energy, that switch option, and a bunch of Pokemon. It looks like they're getting that down, going for a Quick Ball here. Thankfully for us, Dark Asset reads you can do this once per turn only, so they're going to try and find another Pokemon here. Getting rid of another boss is also very, very good for us. There's their Zigzagoon. Probably going to be smacking our Aggron, but they need to have the switch and energy in hand, or else this can't really do too much to them. And they're going to be hitting it, bringing it down to 220 HP, and they're going to research it away. So they're getting rid of the Dark Patch. They need that energy plus switch combo. If they do not have that, well, they have the Escape Rope, so we're going to bring up the Crobat. And they got the switch. Do they have the energy? They can't be playing a boss here. They have the energy card, so they can hit us for the KO here. But I'm not too upset about that because we're going to be able to knock out this Eternatus in 2 turns. And if we can get a boss and maybe knock out Crobat, we can make our prize trade even. So that's pretty good. Now we're going to see what we're working with here. Another Raihan is good. So I think what I want to do is I don't want to use Raihan just yet. I want to attach a Metal Energy. I want to Ultra Ball away Raihan and a Metal Energy. Grab the V-Star. And we're going to play this V-Star down. And use Starbirth to grab ourselves Path to the Peak and Boss's Orders. And we're actually going to bring up this Crobat and just knock it out while powering up our Aggron. Play down Path. And my opponent's got to discard. They discard 1 Crobat. Doesn't matter because the other one is there anyway. And we're going to bring up this Crobat with Boss. We can even put damage on Eternatus if we want. And it'll give us a good pivot as well if they try and knock out something. So we're going to play them Lagoon. Yeah, I think we'll just target this Eternatus regardless. Sets us up for a Raihan belt play after. And take out this Crobat. We can charge up our good pal Aggron V. And we're actually going to be able to knock out that Eternatus next turn with Aggron, which is absolutely insane. Taking 2 prizes. Path is good. Very, very good. And Arceus V-Star, not really needed anymore, but that's okay. We can still get some use out of that Path to the Peak, so I'm not too upset. Having the Raihan in hand is also really, really good because we can Raihan. As long as we're able to find another energy, we can Raihan and get a Choice Belt here. And what's it called? Just knock out this Eternatus VMAX and a bunch of damage. And thankfully for us, if their Eternal Zone is not in effect, they can't knock out our Arceus right now. They're just not going to be doing enough damage, which is very, very good for us in this situation. So we'll have to take a look and see what they get. They don't get any Pokemon, so we're going to have to see what happens here. Playing down that Coughing to try and ability lock us, but that's not going to do too much. No boss coming out, which means no Aggron getting KO'd, which is awesome, which is what I love to see. They're going to evolve into another Eternatus, bringing another one onto the board. And thankfully for us, it doesn't look like they can really do too much more, unless they have a stadium to bump this Path to the Peak. It doesn't look like it. Dread End for 180 is my opponent's move. Now we have to see what we can do here. We can Quick Ball away this Arceus and actually grab ourselves Bidoof. I like grabbing that Bidoof now so we can use Bibarel next turn. And I'm just going to Trinity Nova. We'll set this guy up for being KO'd. And we can put this energy on Aggron. Now, if this gets knocked out, we can actually Raihan to Aggron, find ourselves the VMAX, and then just start swinging away with that. We're going to be able to knock out that Eternatus, hopefully. As long as we can get a boss at some point, we're going to be able to win the game on this Hisuian Samurott because we can just knock it out. Or even on the Zigzagoon, or a Weezing, or whatever. My opponent most likely going to retreat this Eternatus and bring up the other one. So if we can find the double boss, we will be A-okay. Even so, we might be able to just knock out this Eternatus VMAX. If we can find ourselves Oh man, it needs damage counters on it though. If we can find our Zigzagoon, we can actually do it. So we don't have the Scoop Up, but we should have another Zigzagoon in the deck, so we can actually knock up that Eternatus in that case. But then it still leaves our Aggron vulnerable on the bench. My opponent taking their 2 prizes. Now let's see what we can do with our pal Aggron V. Capture energy is very, very good, so we'll put the Bibarel down. I think we'll capture energy, I guess, on the Aggron, just to get an attachment down. And we can put another Bidoof down in case we get the Bibarel off the prize, because I don't see a reason why not. We do have the Zigzagoon, so that's good. We'll put another Bidoof down. And we can Raihan first, or we can Industrious Scissors first. I think we're going to Industrious first. See what we are working with. We get Aggron, we get Pumpkaboo, Path to the Peak as well. So if we bring this Aggron into play, we can max takedown, but we can't knock it out. However, if we can Merciless Strike, we can take the KO, I believe. I think that's right. We attach an energy. Oh no, but we need 2 pieces to the puzzle in order to do this. That's the struggle. So what do? Do we attach and find the Zig and just go all in, or do we go in with the Aggron and Cracking Stomp and get a boss for next turn? I think we really need to take the KO here in order to do something profound. So I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit and play Professor's Research, hopefully finding the pieces that we need. We found the Goon, but we did not find the Choice Belt. Oh man, that sucks. Well, we'll play the Goon down, and we'll put the 1 damage on Eternatus right here. There's nothing else I think we can do as a result of this. We'll Ultra Ball these 2 cards away. Man, we really needed that Choice Belt as well in order to do some damage. We're gonna just kind of thin our deck down a little bit. Grab some more Arceuses out. And we're gonna have to Merciless Strike. That's unfortunate. We really could have taken a huge KO there. And plus we had to get rid of our Aggron in order to risk that. So I don't know if there's much more we can do in this game, but we'll have to see what happens. Maybe we can even go for a Rock Slide KO after, unless they are able, they have the KO on our Aggron here, saving that Galar Mime. We actually could have won the game next turn if we were able to Rock Slide KO with, you know, taking out another Pokemon, but that's okay. Taking the defeat, that was a very, very close game. We might have been able to pull it off, but Eternatus has triumphed our Aggron. So what do you think of this Aggron VMAX deck? I think the deck is super, super strong. My list is very similar, if not the same, to the Worlds one, because when I remember when I was using it, I couldn't really think of many changes I'd like to make to the deck. Even just looking through it here, there's nothing else that I would say is extremely like needing to be changed. One thing I will say is I do like having a Lumineon in here, because there are many times I find when you're playing that if you just had a boss's orders, you could destroy your opponent, and getting that Lumineon in would help you out a lot in that scenario, because you have Pumpkaboo to bump your path if you even really need to. Sometimes having that quick ball for a boss's orders, essentially, through finding Lumineon is powerful, so I might want that in here. Another card I think could be good in here is Thornton. Thornton allows you to switch one of your discarded basic Pokemon with one of your basic Pokemon in play, and you keep everything on it. So being able to potentially switch a Crobat or a Arceus into something else, such as, like, even switching it into a single prizer, or switching it into a Bidoof and evolving it into Bibarel, I think it'd be very, very strong in this deck. So I'm gonna look to add a Thornton in here. The only problem is I'm not sure what I would remove. Maybe a Metal Energy or something like that. 13 energy is a lot, especially when you're powering up via Arceus. So maybe I'll remove a Metal Energy, considering you only need 1 or 2 to power up Aggron, and you can use double turbo and capture for the colorless attack cost. But I think that is about it. I really do like this deck. I think it's very strong. I want to hear what you all have to say. Like the video if you enjoyed. Comment down below your thoughts on Aggron VMAX, and subscribe to the channel. I'm posting 2 new Pokemon trading card game videos every single day of the week. And I want to know what you guys think of this Aggron VMAX deck. So, like, comment, subscribe, do all the usuals, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And until next time, Hitmonchanting out.